Hello everybody, welcome to this video, kind of a review of the Nokia 8000 4G. I'm not a real YouTuber or reviewer. The reason why I am making this is that I had actual experience with this phone for a few weeks and that I already saw a few reviews of it before even buying it, and I'm not satisfied with, let's say, the comparison of actually using it versus the reviews that I saw. Some of them were actually very bad. I'm not saying I'm gonna make a perfect review, but I hope it's a good addition to it for some people, and that it can be useful for some people. The reason why there's multiple phones on the desk here is actually one property. I'm not sure if it was mentioned by any of the other YouTubers making any review about the phone, but this one was the 3720. It's probably almost 20 years old, no, 15 maybe. It is damaged because it really suffered. There was a metal board around it. I destroyed it, but it took some time and some effort. I was a construction worker at that time, sort of, kind of. The buttons are still perfect. I mean, this really suffered to get to this status. I always kept it. I still got the battery as well. It's a very sturdy, tough phone for its size. It was a very good phone for its time. It was around 2010, I think. So I said 20 or 15 years. It's younger than that, okay? But it was a very good phone when it comes to software as well. There was already an Opera Mini browser. I was able to access Facebook via that way. But the reason I cannot use it again or buy a new refurbished one or whatever is that it's only 2G, no Wi-Fi. Yeah, they're even canceling 3G in here in Western Europe, everywhere. So yeah, that's not an option. For detoxing it would have been a good option, but okay. This phone, it's a very basic phone because it's well, if you have the 4 digits in the old Nokia phones, it's the 1100 or the 1100 if you want. Everything that starts with a 1 was the basic phones, so the really basic phones that only needed to be able to basically text and call, and that's why I still use it for. It's turned off. I kept it in my car. I keep it in my car for weeks. It hasn't been charged for weeks. The reason why I haven't even put it on yet is to show you guys the battery after being in my car for weeks. Okay, it's turned off, so yeah, see the battery. It's asking me in Dutch to put a SIM inside. No need for it because I only keep it in the car for calling emergency calls. If you do in the US 911, that will be possible because they make an exception. For any other number it won't work because you have here WISN, which is a delete. 911 works and 112 in Europe works, so I'm not gonna do that. That's the reason why I keep it in my car. Basically, it's still 7 out of 8 bars, the battery. I mean, that's amazing. Or is that the maximum? I don't know. It's it's a lot. It's still good. The reason I want to show you this phone also is not just that, but if I take the battery out and if I throw everything around here on the table, apparently, it feels very sturdy. It's not one of these phones like that one. This one was, I think, splash, more than splash water resistant. It was actually, you could submerge it up until 1 meter or 1 yard if you want. It was actually very good and by design to be shock and dust and water resistant, kind of. This one wasn't designed for that. They gave you no guarantee, no warranty whatsoever when it comes to shock, dust or water resistance, but it feels, I wouldn't throw it in water, but this is actually the reason why they call these old phones bricks. It actually feels like a sturdy, I wouldn't say a piece of stone, but it's so tough. Do that with the phone that we are trying to review here. That's another thing. Yeah, it invites me to be more gentle with it. Yeah, I wouldn't, it feels completely a lot more plasticky, even though this is also plastic. It's I don't know, it's so much stronger. I can take the cover of the front off, but yeah, of this one. I wouldn't do that with this one. Yeah. So yeah, just for comparison, this one, I'm gonna put the battery in now while we are at it. This one, the 8004G. You may have seen it already because I turned it around already. It was 1 week old, or not even a week old, and the joysticky thingy, it was a little black plastic plate, so it's a sexy phone. It's shiny. It's a fingerprint attractor, of course. That's something you know in advance, but I underestimated it as well. But just by using it, the central button, the little plate that was on it, plastic plate, it just jumped off. It like a spring or something. I don't know. Also the buttons. If you want to try texting with it, I'm not gonna show. It's not turned on yet, but yeah, it doesn't feel as good as, for instance, this one. This feels already a lot better. This one was to me nearly perfect. Yeah, and then there's the last one before we turn this one on. The last one is the 5210. That's actually 20 years old or older, I think, even older. I've got two of them. I've got actually three of them, but the third one is somewhere in the cupboard. Apart from the shells, so you see this type of plastic, it's literally melting, degrading. Yeah, so I'm not even opening it. But this one doesn't have shells, but again, it feels so strong, tough, sturdy. Yeah, that's like I said, it's the reason why they call it a brick, I think. Okay, now we can go to the actual review of the hardware. You know, apart from processor, RAM, memory, and stuff like that, the exterior hardware, it feels. No, I'm sorry, and also the size of this thing compared to this one, compared to that one. You know, it doesn't have to be this big, in my opinion. It's I would almost say downgrading. If you're coming from a smartphone and you want to go, you know, detox a little. Yeah, it's too big. The screen, it's not needed. I was able to go on Opera Mini on this one and surf on Facebook, basic surfing. I mean, we already, especially with smartphones, we are too much on social media and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not a big screen compared to my smartphone. It's not even 50% of it, but still, this one was okay. It was enough. Anyway, again, let's start it up. It's been turned off for at least 24 hours now. The battery was completely flat. I charged it and it should turn on now. Come on. Okay, I'm just gonna pause the video and see what's the problem. So yeah, as soon as I plugged it in, it started, the screen started turned on. I'm not sure what the issue is here. Okay, let's try to turn it on again. That's what was appearing, the enabled by Kai OS. That was what appearing when I put in the charger, which is still in. I'm just gonna keep it in to be sure until we can see the percentage of the battery. Maybe I did something stupid. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Now it's turning on. This takes a while. Okay, that's not an issue. There's other things that are slow that are an issue. If it's just booting or something, okay, that's fine. You maybe turn maximum once a day, you turn your phone off completely, I think. Anyway, pin. So it accepted my SIM card's PIN number. Paint by number coloring app is a good way to relax and relieve stress. Okay, that's a first for me. It's actually proposing to install a new app. I'm gonna decline that. Okay, then there's notifications. Nothing. Okay, so that's the one that I just cancelled. I'm gonna yeah. So I just took a little break again. I went to the settings to see the amount of battery that is still in there. So 2%. It was actually empty again. I'm not sure what happened there. The thing is that I initially wanted there was an app that I installed that specifically shows you the battery, so I cannot find that back. Battery and some other specs. My main complaint here, let's say, is not happening right now. Okay, if I wanna, let's say, open WhatsApp, yeah, the text that you will see is something that I tried by using the voice commands in there, the Google Assistant actually, I mean. Yeah. Okay, see, I just quit an app. It's taking forever to get that menu. You see the day appearing, and then a second later you see the hour appearing, and that's already a very slow thing. I just turned it on. The phone's memory, there's a cleaning option, I think, somewhere. Somewhere I used it before turning it off last time, and it's not helping. There's people claiming in their reviews, yeah, you should do that very often or once a week or something. That's bullshit. To be no, that's really no. That's not enough. It's actually going pretty fast right now. Usually it's very slow. Very too slow. When I initially go to the main menu, I open it here, and I want to go to Facebook. That means 2 times down, 2 times to the right, or the other way around. Okay, you do tap 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 tap. Sometimes the cursor it gets stuck here, and then it's going progressively slower, and then you have to wait, because if you already click on the one that is gonna be selected, in that case, now it is selected, then it's not working. So that's an issue. Yeah, if you have to wait for opening Facebook, for instance, if you have to wait for half an hour, okay, half a minute, that's too slow. Slow is slow. Yeah. Something else that I've seen is, because this one, the little black plate got lost on the center button. Because of that, it was kind of helping to hold the rest of the keyboard. And now what happens, look, when I use my nail, maybe I'm not supposed to, I know, but it goes off too easily. If I go, it's not easy to check the camera and use the phone with 2 hands at the same time. But here we go. See, it's coming off completely. I'm not gonna pull it, but yeah, as you can see, that's not good. The physical buttons are here, and they're actually, they seem, you know, they're separated in a way like this phone. It should be better if they were kind of like that, of course, less ugly than this, but you know, here it's a I would say it's almost one smooth plate, and then from an aesthetically point of view, it's not bad, but this doesn't work for me. If you want to type, okay, let's do that. Most reviews, the only test they do is opening Snake and oh yeah, you see, they're like, yeah, I can play it very well with this, or I can play it not so good with this phone, or better with the other phone. Okay, but this is what matters. Yeah, you do have the voice thingy, Google Assistant, but it's not perfect. And if, especially this one, my mother tongue is Dutch. Google Assistant is only available in 3 or 4 languages. Dutch is not amongst them. So yeah, that's an issue. If I want to type I'm already typing slower than, not that I used to do, because I tested it with this one. I can still type pretty fast with this, even without T9. But the fact that the buttons are so close to each other and my thick thumbs, it's not working. It's not working. What else is an issue? If you're typing and you know you want to go back to delete something, that's here, this arrow. If you go fast, or too fast apparently, or you're just clumsy or something, then you don't hit this button but this one. And what happens then is, ta-da! Okay, now it's asking me to save it as a concept. Okay. Yeah, in this app maybe. Oh yeah, of course. This is the text app. This is in SMS. If you do the same in WhatsApp, what happens is it closes. So I'm gonna throw that away now. It closes the app and it goes back to the main menu. And everything you've been typing in WhatsApp is lost. And actually WhatsApp is the main reason why I would go for a KaiOS device, or this one more particularly. And not one of the more recent Nokia phones where they don't use Kai anymore, where they only use S30 Plus series. Yeah, that's an issue. They don't have WhatsApp for that. You can have Facebook based upon, I think, also an Opera Mini browser. But yeah, this one is going back to the store. I already contacted them and showed them this issue, of course. Yeah. This is not the best review ever. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna post it, but you will see. I wouldn't recommend it because of the build quality, because of KaiOS. I'm not happy with it. Now it's pretty snappy, it's pretty fast, but it's not always like that, and that's an issue. It didn't do an update. Just in the beginning when I bought it, it did an update, but the problems were already after that. But since the issues, software issues that I had, it never got an update, so nothing changed about that. The memory got cleaned multiple times, as I said. It didn't help either. Yeah. It's pretty fast now, but I'm very sure if it's on, just turn on, not even any apps open, that it's gonna be slow again in no time. Is there anything else I want to show? I was thinking I should have written a script for this, making this video, but yeah. Having a YouTube app is nice. It's a bit too much like the same way you should control the Opera Mini browser. For the browser, it's fine, but if there's a dedicated YouTube app, you would have expected something more. Okay, not a touchscreen, of course, but yeah, this is not the ideal. It does have 4G, it does have Wi-Fi, but yeah, see, This is not a very easy way. You can hold it instead of just tap 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 tap, but still it's not, you know, if you hold it then it's gonna be too fast in a way. Yeah, so far my review. If there's any questions, don't hesitate to ask. There's people making reviews and they say the same thing, but they never answer if I ask them a question, but I will answer. Yeah, my next video, if I ever make one, will probably be about an S30 Plus device. We will see. I'm not happy with KaiOS. I'm not happy with the hardware of this specific model. And yeah, that was my video. I hope you learned something from it. Okay, bye.